So look, Trent Alexander-Arnold wants to win the Ballon d'Or, but will he still be at Liverpool if that happens? As it stands, these three here, the vice-captain Trent, obviously the captain Virgil van Dijk as well, and Mo Salah, all out of contract in the summer. So it means that they can speak to foreign clubs with effect from the 1st of January. But the question is, I guess, are things progressing behind the scenes? And let's start with Trent then, because he's got these huge aspirations, but he's being repeatedly linked with Real Madrid. So is he the one that Liverpool are trying hard enough, or not hard enough, or trying hardest to keep?
My understanding is that contract discussions for all three of them were underway in October, early October. And with Trent, he is the most important to tie down because in the context of his age, how unique he is at his position and what he means to the football club as an academy graduate. He is the biggest asset, he's the highest value of the three of them. So I know Liverpool are pushing very hard to get all three over the line and doing what they can. But Trent also is the one with the best alternate option. And it's interesting to hear him say he wants to win the Ballon d'Or because, by the way, that is one of Real Madrid's key sales pitches. And it has been now for about 4 seasons. When they sit down with players, it's very evident. They say, if you want to win the Ballon d'Or, this is the club you win the Ballon d'Or at. This is the club where you become a Champions League icon at. They did it with Jude Bellingham. Unsuccessfully, they did it with Erling Haaland, where Manchester City just pipped Real Madrid in his points ranking when he was deciding where to go. And they will be doing it with Trent Alexander-Arnold. All the steps that Madrid usually do, which is a long charm offensive that also materializes in their press, in the Spanish papers on a daily basis, just to create that little bit of a player starts to read everything that's been spoken about them in Spain, then they're distracted a little bit. It is divisive for the team the player's currently at. So all of these typical Real Madrid moves we're seeing at the moment. It is unquestionable that they would happily sign Trent Alexander-Arnold on a free.
Just very briefly, do you think that Liverpool are in a no-win situation? Because if he were to win the league this season, maybe even the Champions League, he might turn around, maybe both, he might turn around and say, I've done all that I have to do. If they don't win those things, then he might see himself as having a better chance with Real Madrid.
Yeah, I also think the reality is Real Madrid can offer different things to what Liverpool can. And Liverpool is more about the sentiment. Liverpool can win silverware. They've proven they can do it with him. It's more the feeling around the club of going to Anfield, of that emotional pull and that tie and the threads. Whereas Real Madrid, you go and you become an absolute giant. I mean, look at Jude Bellingham, who's one of Trent's best friends, and how he has just escalated, not just his actual football level, but his brand, the persona, the energy and the interest around him. And that's the difficulty there. But, you know, all those things Trent said in that interview, I spoke to him in 2019. We did an exclusive walking through Liverpool city centre, the docks, which he actually hadn't done because he's been a player for Liverpool all his life, so he didn't feel like he could do that. And as we're walking around, he said, I want to change the way fullbacks are viewed. You know, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, they tell us how important a fullback can be. I want to show people. And he said, you know that line, no one grows up wanting to be a Gary Neville. He said, I want people to grow up wanting to be like Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I don't think his ambition has altered in a sense, except he's now reaching, you know, the peak of his career. And so silverware, what he can do next, and like he says, when he looks back, how much he's actually given to the game and achieved, will be pivotal. I do know that for all three of them, the intention or the idea is to give Liverpool the best opportunity to make them the best offer to stay. just with Trent, though, that lure of Real Madrid is huge.
I also felt that it was, for all three of them, I could understand if I was in their position, Jurgen Klopp was leaving, Arne Slot was coming in, and I think he's given them the best foundation for them to say, hang on a minute, we are going to win things under this guy as well. So I think might have been a sea change in their head over the last, say, 12 games. In terms of Mo Salah as well, he's finding another dimension. Jurgen Klopp always said that he wanted him to improve year on year, didn't he? And he's doing exactly that. He's a turned provider right now, 7 goals, 7 assists. So, he's also got the hunger. When he got subbed against Leipzig, you can see how that distresses Mohamed Salah. He wants to be on the pitch. So do they need to keep him as well? Is he kind of irreplaceable for Liverpool?
There's no player that's irreplaceable. We've watched enough Premier League, well, any kind of football to know that. But I think that as far as he's concerned, if he were to leave Liverpool, you don't really see where else he could go at his age, because Real Madrid wouldn't take him at his age. Maybe a Barcelona would, because obviously Robert Lewandowski is ripping it up for them at the moment.
I hope Salah's not watching this.
Spanish.
He's not going to like that.
Well, no. The point I would make is that if you look at the average age of Real Madrid, it's not that he doesn't have the quality to play for them. It's that the average age of a Real Madrid player is much younger than Salah is now. And so even though he is he's a warrior, not just a player, a competitor. I think as far as he's concerned, those options, would he want to go to any of the other big European clubs? I don't think so. I think Van Dijk, Liverpool are flying at the moment. He's in terrific form. We know as a defender you get better as you get older. I think all three players are excellent key members of the Liverpool side. What I would say about Liverpool is that very few people are talking about Liverpool's start to the season, the best of any top division side that we've ever seen. Under Slot, understated, and it could well be that Liverpool, before we know it, we get to February, March, and we're thinking, could they win a treble? Could they win a quadruple? And that could make its own statement better than anything that the club could offer them. And so I'm quite intrigued to see how the season pans out.
Yeah.
With Mo Salah, I do know that one of the things in his head was breaking into the top 5 of the Premier League's all-time goal scorers. He's currently 8th in the list, but he's only 22 goals away from Sergio Aguero, I think. So I know he loves his little milestones and stats, and he pays attention to all those kind of things. And I know people will look at the age, and Liverpool have been reluctant for players on the other side of 30 to give them long, lucrative contracts. His physique, his conditioning, his appetite to be the very best has not changed. He is a clutch player. Like the big games, the decisive games, no one's contributed more goals than him against top 4 teams. So there's no drop-off when it comes to him. Even Virgil van Dijk, his performances have actually gotten better. I don't know how, because he's been unflustered for most of his Liverpool career. But I think what you have is a situation where the club are conscious of the age profile of the squad, because they don't want it to get too old and to leave it too late to change it. But in those two players, they have absolute gold. And the players themselves know as well they've got a very good thing at Liverpool. And the big question was, how will it change post-Klopp? And Slot is showing them we can play a different brand of football, more measured, be in control, be cruising through some games, and it will work.